Rebelle Rapid Red Blaster review. Included is the blaster itself, a magazine, a little decoder sheet, a decoder sleeve so you can put the dart inside, and then a few elite darts, 5 of which are the decoder darts where you write your secret messages on. This is a battery-operated blaster. It will not function without the batteries. You remove the screw and remove this tab, and it runs on 4 AA batteries, which just slide in. Then you put back the cover and screw it in, you're good to go. So oversimplifying things, this is the Rebelle version of the Stryfe. It is a very small semi-automatic flywheel blaster. I will go over the externals, show you how it works, show you it firing, and then give you my opinion. Starting with the front, standard muzzle. It does not have an in-strike attachment muzzle, so you cannot attach barrel attachments. The batteries are housed here, like I just showed you. This is on the center line of the blaster, so the weighting of the AA's is perfect. It's right in the middle. Down here, there is no in-strike rail, even though they clearly have enough space for it. Up here, front and rear iron sights are here, and then you can also use this as a sling mount. Moving back is the access door. This is an opaque red access door, so you can't see through it. They don't have holes in it, so you can't see through those even. And I'm not sure if I have a lemon, which is a random defected blaster, or it's just a design flaw, but my access door will not stay down. And what's frustrating is in the up form, it's actually disabling this blaster because there's an electronic lock right here, which is pressed down when the access door is shut. And then it disables itself because the stupid access door won't stay down. This alone is a deal breaker for this entire design. I'm assuming I have a lemon here because I can't imagine Hasbro would ship out something with such a horrendous design flaw. Regardless if this is a lemon, I believe this access door is just a silly, silly, terrible design, which eventually everybody's access doors will wear out and they will flip up. So if you haven't modified your blasters, your blaster will just disable itself, which is frustrating, and you can use it fine with 2 hands if you have a thumb over your access door, but this is awesome because it can be used with 1 hand, so that's disabling one of the key features of a blaster this small. I can't gripe on this too much because it is probably a lemon, but I don't know that because I don't have a large enough sample size. Moving back is an in-strike tactical rail for any accessories that are compatible with in-strike rails. Moving down is the magazine well. The magazine release is located here. You can either stick out your middle finger like that or bring up your left thumb and release the magazine. It is a very crisp magazine release. It reminds me of the Stryfe. The magazine that is included is a straight mag. This is an in-strike mag. As you can see from the front here, you can put this into any in-strike blaster, and you can put any in-strike magazine into this blaster. This side of the magazine is a transparent red, which decodes the little messenger darts, and then this is an opaque pink side. So next time you need to send a really important message, like this one, you write it on the dart and then shoot it at the recipient. They then get it into their sleeve and they can read your awesome and very, very super important message. Moving back, the trigger is very smooth. This is actually a smoother trigger than the Stryfe in unmodified form because it doesn't have the dart lock, which restricts you from pulling the trigger if there's not a magazine loaded. The Stryfe has that lock, which if you don't have a dart in place, you can't pull the trigger. This does not, so it feels very smooth, and you can go a little faster with this. The rev trigger is pretty standard. It is crisp. It feels nice. The grip is very small and very alienating to large hands, so if you're a bigger person or not a 15-year-old girl, this might feel very small to you. And with a pump action blaster or something where your right hand doesn't need to manipulate too much, it wouldn't be a big deal, but since you have to operate the rev trigger and the primary trigger, not having enough space for your hand is just compromising. I am aware the target market for this blaster is not a 22-year-old male like me, it's a very young female, which is understandable because they have very small hands, but there's really not a huge disadvantage of having a bigger grip because a little hand can fit on a big grip, but a big hand really can't fit on a small grip. Ignoring the size, however, it is a very comfortable and ergonomic grip. It is rounded very neatly and it is comfortable, kind of ignoring the size. And then a lanyard mount or a sling mount if you want to use both. So how it works, it is very similar to the Stryfe or exactly the same as the Stryfe. I have to hold down my access door. Hopefully you wouldn't have to do that if you buy this, but you hold down the rev trigger, let it rev all the way up, and then pull the trigger. This does fire 1 at a time. It is semi-auto. So I'll show you the chrono and some firing tests. $61, 70, duplicate 70, 69 giggity, 70, duplicate 70. These are feet per second. So as you can tell by the chrono readings, it is shooting pretty hard. It shoots just along the lines as all the other Elite blasters. I've said that a ton of times, but all of the Nerf guns right now are shooting the same velocity, so there's really no advantage to buying one over the other. Certain spring pistols are the exception there. But that's awesome because then you don't have to get outgunned by someone just because you prefer the feel of a different blaster. Everything shoots about the same, including this one. So getting to my opinion on the blaster. Overall, it's kind of mixed. I want to like this blaster and I like how it performs in a certain sense. However, this access door jam for me is a complete deal breaker. It disables itself while firing, so I have to use two hands for such a little blaster. The advantage of this is to be able to use it one-handed and maybe dual wield or do something else with his hand. So that is incredibly frustrating, but getting down to the sort of the objective performance of it, the velocity readings, the range accuracy, all of that, it performs on par with everything else. So if you like the body and the shape of it, you'll definitely be happy with it. However, keep in mind the Stryfe is $20 US and this is $30 US. Prices may vary a little bit, but that's around me. And this is essentially the same thing as a Stryfe, except without the bottom rail for the cool things, without the front muzzle for the other cool things, and without the stock attachment for the rear cool things. All you're getting here is slightly more ammo in your magazine, because the Stryfe comes with a 6-round magazine, and this one just isn't quite as easy to use with the access door, the smaller grip. Unless you're a woman or a female who must have a purple blaster, or a guy who really likes purple, nothing wrong with that, I would probably recommend buying the Stryfe instead of this one. But it operates sort of well, assuming this isn't a standard thing. It's hard to accurately judge this blaster with something that's defective out of the box. But overall, it shoots well, so if you like the shapes, if you like the lines, you know, it's a decent blaster. So hopefully I've explained the blaster well enough for you to make your own informed decision now. That's the review. Thanks for watching. Panther is a really small air gun, which a lot of people use for the back pressure air tanks because they're very powerful, especially when you plug the overpressure valve. So that's housed up here internally, and then the trigger is back here. I actually